We have waged a fierce battle against the invisible enemy, the China virus, which has claimed countless lives in 188 countries.
Yikes, Donald Trump coming in with the hammer against Communist China today in his United Nations speech. What an absolute barn burner, going completely scorched earth on the CPC and calling them out in every which direction. Donald Trump standing up for America first and clearly ruffling a little feathers. My name is Lucius Cole of the Cole Factory, and we're going to be going into the highlights of that particular speech. In particular, the parts where he is targeting China, not mincing any words whatsoever, simply speaking truth to power, while all of these sports leagues and all of these big businesses and Hollywood continue to kowtow to the red dragon. Donald Trump says, I'm not with that, and stands up for America first. Let's get back into the speech as he completely obliterates the CPC at every single turn.
We must hold accountable the nation which unleashed this plague onto the world, China. In the earliest days of the virus, China locked down travel domestically while allowing flights to leave China and infect the world.
You know what that is, ladies and gentlemen? That's a smoking gun. Domestically, China shuts down their air travel, literally locks people in their homes. And you're probably thinking, oh, it's just making sure people don't leave their homes. No. They literally showed up with a welder and physically locked them into their homes. Human rights abuses everywhere. And the entire world is silent. This is the one man who has a willingness to call out China. And I see a lot of people saying, oh my God, like, why does he say China virus? Why does he say China virus? It's just so racist. Ladies and gentlemen, if you actually listen to some of his earlier speeches, he was calling it COVID. And then, just like information warfare, the CPC and officials within the CPC began to actually start claiming that America was responsible for corona, that Italy was responsible, that Australia was responsible. They were taking zero responsibility for what happened in their country and what ultimately spread all across the world. None. And that is when he started calling it the Chinese virus. It was only then. It is information warfare in play, but the media won't tell you that. The media will continue to gloss over that fact, but China needs to be held responsible, and it is Donald Trump coming in with the hammer.
The Chinese government and the World Health Organization, which is virtually controlled by China, falsely declared that there was no evidence of human-to-human transmission. Later, they falsely said people without symptoms would not spread the disease. The United Nations must hold China accountable for their actions.
You gotta love how at the end there, the camera pans to the ambassador of China at the United Nations. It really is fantastic. They really want to see the reaction of the Chinese as Trump continues to point out who is responsible for this global pandemic. And it really is. It speaks to a broader question about not only the United Nations, but just the world as a whole. Why is it everyone is so afraid to speak out against China? Because they have a investment in China, because they get dollars from China, because they take loans from China. And no matter what they do, no matter the amount of human rights abuses with the Uyghurs going on in China, all those people saying the Holocaust will never happen again, never again. That was the quote, never again. And here we have a country who has over 1 million Uyghur Muslims in concentration camps, literally harvesting body parts, using them as forced labor. And then these big, huge multinational corporations, these global entities in news, these sports athletes continue to bend the knee. It is disgusting. And Donald Trump is one of the only world leaders that will continue to call out real fascism, real totalitarianism, Not this fake woke crap, lefty crap saying that Trump's a fascist while he literally establishes peace across the world. While he literally puts more money in the pockets of Americans than any president in modern history. While every other politician sells out, he is the one man who stands defiant.
In addition, every year, China dumps millions and millions of tons of plastic and trash into the oceans, overfishes other countries' waters, destroys vast swaths of coral reef, and emits more toxic mercury into the atmosphere than any country anywhere in the world.
How's that for you, lefties? How's that for you, climate change? How's that for you, environment? All these people that are activists for these particular causes say absolutely nothing to the number one polluter in the world. The people that actively, truly cause the most harm in terms of pollution, in terms of mercury, going into other people's waters, throwing millions of pounds of plastic and trash inside of the oceans. Does anybody speak out against this? None. Zero. Nada. The UN cowtails, these environmentalist cowtail, these climate change people, they all cowtail, and they always blame the United States. How about you focus on the number one culprit in the world? You don't. You put zero pressure on them. Zero pressure put on China. Because it might just be racist! It's racist because they're not white, so we can't tell them what to do. Absolute insanity.
China's carbon emissions are nearly twice what the U.S. has, and it's rising fast. By contrast, after I withdrew from the one-sided Paris Climate Accord, last year America reduced its carbon emissions by more than any country in the agreement.
Get wrecked, globalists. All of you people trying to push this blanket ban on the United States, trying to tell us how to govern ourselves. The United States not even signing the Paris Climate Accord. And yet we, as a nation, lowered our pollutants more than any other nation that dared to bend the knee and sign that agreement. And yet we ended up being number one. Explain that to me. Explain that to me. Because I thought we were this evil, crazy nation for not signing it. And yet we, as a nation, were number one in lowering our pollutants. And we didn't even sign it. Because Donald Trump understands that the smallest form of government is able to enact change. A government that has a connection with its people, not some bureaucrats of some, super crazy, world-bending, changing, spellbinding, amazing, greener new world. No. Each country should be held responsible for what they do by their own actions. When a country like the United States, with as much wealth and power that we have, when we are able to govern ourselves, we are able to see a brighter future for ourselves. And that is why Donald Trump will continue to win and continue to dominate on this amazing speech.
Those who attack America's exceptional environmental record while ignoring China's rampant pollution are not interested in the environment. They only want to punish America, and I will not stand for it.
Doubling down. Smacking these useless bureaucrats right in their face, right where it hurts. Showing them that we don't need you. We don't need you. We don't need the world telling us how to govern ourselves. And on top of that, targeting the United States, targeting us as a nation, while a country halfway across the world is literally the number one producer of pollutants, and you say nothing to them. You don't talk down to them. You don't try to sit on your high horse and say how amazing you are to them. You only try to make the evil of the world in the light of the United States, while China is just a small little developing nation. It's absurd.
If the United Nations is to be an effective organization, it must focus on the real problems of the world. This includes terrorism, the oppression of women, forced labor, drug trafficking, human and sex trafficking, religious persecution, and the ethnic cleansing of religious minorities.
Donald Trump has no quit in him. He's calling out real human rights abuses all over the world. While these lefties continue to burn, riot, and murder, and continue to destroy the legacy that is America, countries all around the world are dealing with some of the most inhumane abuses in human history, China included. Like I said before, over 1 million Uyghur Muslims in concentration camps. Present day, 2020, concentration camps. Human sex trafficking all over the world. Human rights abuses. Women being attacked. Gays being attacked. America is the freest nation on the planet. And we are still able to defend ourselves against those who wish to do us harm. A fight against true tyranny, not only in the United States, but from the world. This man understands the broader picture. And he understands that America is a light and a beacon for those countries that have it much, much, much worse than us.
As president, I have rejected the failed approaches of the past, and I am proudly putting America first, just as you should be putting your countries first. That's okay. That's what you should be doing.
Boom to globalization. Goodbye, globalization. Calling out these hacks, calling out these people that are pushing a NWO agenda. Enough of this crap. Enough of this complete and total lunacy. The best way for every nation to grow is through competition. Every single leader should be looking at their own country and their own people. They should put their country first. And by doing that, they will breed competition within nations. And what does competition create? It creates growth. It creates the best possible product. It creates the best possible vision. Of course, we should have our alliances. Of course, we should team up with nations that see the world in our light. And ultimately, we all pray, the best ideas come to the top. Donald Trump knows, and Donald Trump will continue to call out the totalitarianism that is China. What a true president, what a real leader. And this pandemic spreading all across the world, they must be held accountable for their actions. They can't poo-poo this and blame other countries like the US, Italy, and Australia. It's not going to happen. At least not on his watch. Let's pray for 4 more years, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lucius Cole. If you got to the end of the video, please make sure to like, subscribe, and or comment. It really does help the channel grow. I really appreciate all of you dearly. You are all my patriots, and you are all my friends. We've hit 100 subscribers on our way to 1,000. Please like this video, share, and subscribe to make it grow even farther. I'll see you in the next one. I love ya. Peace.